An interesting thing happened to me just recently. I have to go to New York for a cousin is having a 50th wedding anniversary. And I was looking for, I haven't been in New York on Long Island for a very long time, so I had to look for a hotel to stay for the night. And I started doing a Google search because I knew the area that I wanted to be in, but wasn't sure, you know, what was out there. And I ended up looking at user reviews, which turned out to be unbelievable. I mean, I looked at this hotel that I was thinking of staying at, and there were 3 reviews there that said it was the most awful experience they ever had in their life. Well, obviously, am I going to go to that hotel? No way. And then I found this inn that was really a small place. I mean, it looks nice. Didn't have a lot of, I couldn't order online. I couldn't do, you know, so obviously they're not up to date as far as technology. But they had about 5 reviews, and every review said, this is the best place I've ever been in. The hospitality was great. The rooms are wonderful, whatever. Obviously, I called them and made a booking. I would not have done that. I would have been out there just, you know, floundering around, not knowing. But today with the internet, more engaging material really helps the consumer make a decision. So if you have a website or if you have cross-channel material that helps people make the decision, that's an assist. Those reviews were assists to selling that you know, service. And I think that's happening more and more today, where the people are determining what is important, and we're getting a chance to interact with the media to help do that. So I think that's very important. So competitive analysis, again, what we recommend is you look at your 3 or 4 competitors, not the ones that you think are the competitors, but you take some of your keywords and you Google the people that come up in that space on that word. Not on every word, on that particular word. Why? Because you have different competitors on every single word, believe it or not. And most of us can't afford to buy every word that's out there if we're looking at pay-per-click. We can only afford some keywords and maybe some tail keywords, which are the best as far as conversion. Now, for organic search, you know, everything can come up if you do it right, if you know how to do organic search. So, you know, that's another whole ball game. But even on organic search, see who comes up, because those are the people that you have to deal with, not everyone else. Even if they're the biggest company in the world, if they don't come up in the search engine, they're not a player. They're just not a player. So the way to do the competitive analysis is take your top keywords and some of your tail words and see who's playing in that space and see what they're doing. What are they doing? Try to analyze that. And then we think that another really important thing is the media mix. And the media mix is determined a lot by your dollars. I mean, I hate to say it, but it's true. For example, if you are a small business, you probably are talking about a $6,000 budget a year. So a TV commercial is not for you. They're basically around $30,000 a commercial. So, you know, that's not your audience. You're not going to be a player in the Super Bowl game. You know what I mean? So you have to look at what is available online or offline that you can afford. Now, today, one of the things that's really affordable and really underused on a strategic level is email. Email is a great type of advertising for a product or service, or credibility, or getting in front of, or branding, but you have to do it strategically. Again, our whole thing here is a strategy first. What are your goals? Who are your target audience? What's your message? And then, more important than anything else, measuring how successful, how many people are opening it, how many people click through to the offer that you have and convert and signed up for whatever program it is that you need to have them signed up for. So really look at your statistics to see how successful is that campaign, and then, you know, and then tweak it so that it gets more successful. A 1% conversion increase can be huge. It can be huge. If you send a message out to, you know, 500 people and you get 30 responses, that's great. So keep doing that. But then maybe you want 35 the next time. See if you could tweak, let's say, the headline. And I mean, there are things in email. I've actually written a lot of newsletters on strategic email campaigns. So you can actually look at that and see, you know, how you can, you know, make that campaign a little bit more robust each time and make it better and better and better, and then clean your list up all the time. So this is just one channel. email. But I'm saying, you know, if you can do everything, like you do a TV, you do a radio, you do a billboard, and then you watch and see what are the results from those campaigns, because then, you know, it may be an assist. And an assist may still be good as far as conversion, you know, if you track it, if you track it. When that billboard went up, did everything else increase? You can see that. So that's important. And then the tactical implementation plan is actually what we're talking about with the optimization and the actual working within each channel and really understanding how that channel works to get you visibility. As I mentioned before, if you're doing a blog, you have to understand a blog is great for getting links to your site for your organic search. It works very well for organic search and landing pages and so forth. So the question then is, do you understand how a blog, the intricacies of what you have to do to a blog to make those links, embedded links, actually viral? Do you understand enough about it? Because if you think just by putting up a blog it's going to work, it doesn't work that way. The same thing with, as I said, the email campaign. Having a very bad, untargeted list, you're going to have results that you're going to say, this email doesn't work. Well, maybe it doesn't, so maybe you've got to look at your list. So I'm saying you have to analyze what it is that you're doing on a tactical basis, because you have to understand what that medium is, how it performs best, and then how you can leverage that across another channel possibly. So if you're doing a display ad, you know, you might buy the words for your organic search so that when they look at the display ad, they may not click on the display ad, but they may search later to see how real you are as a company. And if you didn't buy those words, you're not really taking advantage of that cross-channel the whole cross-channel emphasis that you need to have when you're doing what we call an interactive, integrated campaign today. So basically, that's it. And my conclusion is that if you do a campaign that's truly strategic, you start at the planning stage way on top, asking yourself all of those hard questions, and then looking cross-channel at what can you afford, and then, you know, how can you then, you know, implement it, and then most importantly, measure it so that you know what you're doing. And if you get, when I talked about that navigation, if you get off track with a particular channel, how can you bring it back? Because if you have that overall plan, you can say, you know, we're not getting the results we want. We're going to bring it back by doing something else to maybe change the message or whatever. But you have a navigation idea up there.